Hello girls, this is my kitchen. There's the silly cat, and I'm about to cook something in the thermo so you can see how it works. This is a quick view of the house. There's outdoor wood pile out the back, which goes into the garage after we use the indoor wood pile that's already in there. So we've got like $500 worth of firewood. There's the lounge room, sunroom out the front. This is my kitchen, which I love, and hallway up to the bedrooms, bathroom. So this is my view from my lovely kitchen, which I also love looking out there. So now this is the beautiful Thermomix, which I also love, and this is what you get with it. So you'll get a steaming basket. It sits on top. You can cook rice in it, steam vegetables, keep things warm, all that sort of stuff. This is the Varoma basket, which I haven't actually used yet, which you can cook in there a chicken or prawns or vegetables or whatever. Also, you can steam more things on top of that, gyozas, things like that. There's a lid for it. You can cook a whole chicken in there, no worries, while you're cooking other stuff in the bottom of the thermo or just using water to steam and cook. This is an addition which I purchased. It's called the Thermo Server. It's fully insulated. You put your hot meal in that. If you're preparing more than one hot dish at a time, you can prepare one, put it in there, pop the lid on. It will stay hot for hours or cold. So if you're going on a picnic, you can cook your dish in there. We've taken spag bowl out on a picnic, cooked it, put it all in there, go to the picnic, and everybody's got hot spag bowl. Okay, so back to the thermo. That's it there. So I'm just going to prop this up so that hopefully you can see what I'm doing with the Thermomix. So that's it there. Okay, so let's see how we go. Okay, so the Thermomix, I'll turn on, there's the menu. This is how we find the recipes. So all the recipes are on the cooking chip on the side, which is that chip there that just fits on magnetically. It's like a giant USB. Holds all the recipes from the basic cookbook or any other cookbooks that you purchase. But I've only got the basic cookbook comes with it. That's all I use, and then I transfer recipes from cookido.com.au and sync it with the machine, and they end up on the chip. And then you've got your recipes. So you go recipes. For this one, I want all recipes. I haven't saved it into a collection or into favourites. I want the creamy mushroom soup. So I press C and I scroll down till I get to cream of mushroom soup. Okay, so then you press start. Brings up all the ingredients on there, which I've got out so that I can do this quite efficiently, hopefully. So then you can also refer to the cookbook for those, but it'll tell you what you want as you go. So then you go next. First it's asking for 4 sprigs of parsley. Leaves only. That's parsley that I've picked straight out of the garden. Okay, so then you go next, and it says insert the measuring cup, which is this. This is the measuring cup that comes with it. Sits on top so that if there is overloaded, they don't explode. The measuring cup comes off. The explosion of the Thermomix was the old model TM31. This is a TM5. And the TM31 had a smaller bowl, and a lot of people overfilled them, and that's what caused it. Okay, so next, turn the speed selector to 7, it says. So I turn the speed selector to 7, and it's just chopping my parsley. Okay, so now it's telling me it's done. So I click next. Okay, just when you click next, if it doesn't go straight away, just wait, because it's just doing things in order of how it does it. So there's my chopped parsley in there. So it's now telling me to put that into a separate bowl, which I will do. Transfer it into another bowl, and that goes into the soup later on before we cook it. So they do that. It's just a bit messy parsley because it sticks to the sides. Okay. Okay, so we'll put the bowl back and click next. Next it's asking for 200 grams of button mushrooms. So I'll just rinse those. but I've actually got more than 200 grams because this is for me. Kenny loves mushrooms and mushroom soup, so I've gone a bit over with the mushrooms. So to weigh them, the machine weighs automatically, and you'll see here there's a tare button. So I'm going to take the lid off and it's going to say 0 grams. Okay, so we put the mushrooms in and it will tell me how much. So it's actually 335 grams of mushrooms there. So I'll put the lid back on. If I was measuring and I'd taken the lid off and back on, it would fiddle with the weight. So you press the tare button to take it back to 0 weight. Okay, so we've got the mushrooms in, insert the measuring cup into the mixing bowl, and we're going to turn the speed selector to 4, but I'm going to just add some garlic because this recipe doesn't actually use garlic, and it's not mushroom soup without a truckload of garlic. So I put the garlic in. Okay, turn the speed selector to 4. Now I can chop my mushrooms. Okay, mushrooms all chopped. And I've gone too far with that because I pressed the button twice. Done that. Okay, so I'll just give you a peek. Mushrooms are all chopped in there beautifully. Certainly saves you standing there cutting a lot of mushrooms up. Okay, so now it's asking me for 200 grams of milk, and I've fiddled with the lid, so I have to tear it and take it back to 0. Okay, 200 grams of milk. The measuring cup holds about 100 mils. So pour that in. That's 50 grams. I've found it's better to measure it from the measuring cup than to pour it straight from the bottle. I've done that and I've ended up with too much. And you can't really take it back out. So it's best, well you can, but then everything comes out, the garlic and all that comes out as well. So, okay, a tablespoon of vegetable stock. This is my vegetable stock which I made in the Thermomix. Vegetables and salt to keep it fresh. So it has 150 grams of rock salt. And it's pure vegetable stock, so no more stock cubes. That's the first thing I made was the stocks so that I could cook the recipe. So a tablespoon of fresh, beautiful vegetable stock goes in. And making the stock is very, very easy, like everything. So now it's asking for 50 grams of plain flour. So I've got a little smidgen left in that bag. Your staple things like flour, sugar, that sort of stuff you'll use a lot of because especially if you're making breads and cakes and stuff like that, like I do. So it's got 10 grams of flour, so now it wants, so there's your 50 grams of plain flour. To thicken it, half a teaspoon of salt, which I've got in the salt pig here, so I'll pop that in. Salt pig's holding up the camera. Put the measuring cup back in and press next. And now it's going to cook for, and turn it to there, and it's going to cook for 8 minutes. So I'm just going to stop that for now.